Welcome to the How to Hustle podcast, brought to you by Blockspace, your creative agency. That's BLOXSPACE.co. That's BLOXSPACE.co. Blockspace.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the How to Hustle podcast. Today, our topic is the most important asset, and that is you and your customer service. This is Jasmine.
And I'm Rowan.
Joe the boss, baby.
Let's get started.
Let's get it.
Let's make it happen, Captain.
So, like Jasmine just introduced to us, today we're talking about customer service in your hustle. And I think it's a part of your hustle that people sometimes neglect. But you have to remember that it's your hustle, you're the one doing it, which means everything's centered around you. And if you're not good, if you don't have good customer service, or if you're not treating people correctly, your hustle's automatically failing. Jasmine, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Nobody wants to work with someone, especially when you're just starting off at a hustle. No one wants to work with someone that's not, giving them what they want. As we all know, customers always right. So
even if they're crazy.
Even if they're crazy.
Yeah, because being in the industry for such a long time, dealing with clients, I love clients because I love people, but there are clients that they're lost, and then their dysfunction comes onto you, and then the job that you're doing starts to become dysfunctional, and then you're looking at yourself, well, how can I fix this and have an exit, right? So that we leave on good terms. That's the hardest thing to navigate with people. If you have issues where you get angry or you get offended easy, it's going to be tough for you to deal with clients.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think with a hustle, a lot of times you're doing something that you're passionate about. We kind of talked about making your passion into your hustle. And sometimes, since you're so passionate about a topic, you do things one way when your customer may want them done another way. And you may see it as wrong. You might think it's a lesser way of doing it, and maybe it is. But sometimes it's really important to listen to your customer and be a good customer service representative, because what if you think that, like, this shade of red is just great, but all of a sudden they want, like, this bright, just eye-poppingly, scratch-your-eyes-out color red, but it's what they want, and you make the website or something with your color red, and they hate it, and then they're angry at you, even though they already told you no.
Well, the thing that happens, like, I just dealt with a client. I got a new client, a referral from somebody else that needed a menu fixed on our website, right? They're trying to bring their website from early 2000s to today's designs and look and feel. But the lady presented a website to the client, and they didn't like none of it, right? So she starts nitpicking each little piece of the website. So now the website looks more to 2005 website instead of today's website, right? But that's what the client wanted. Mm-hmm. So you only thing that you could do is try to persuade them.
Yeah, that's what they think that looks good.
Yeah, because their skew is like, when somebody comes at me and says something that's off, I say, well, look, I build on best practices. Best practices is what sets the boundaries and the levels of success on any project. So, right? So best practice means a process of how we take a client on, right? A process how we develop a website, develop a logo, develop a mobile app, all the development stuff. There's a process, right? Ooh, yeah. What's going on with that, man? Sorry about that. Can I hear you? I'm scared I ain't getting you.
Yeah,
No,
I think we're good.
Good?
Sorry about that, guys out there. We're having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, just a little bit.
In studio, we had a dog come in, and she pulled our board to the floor.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Boo Boo out
Yeah,
there
Boo Boo.
taking a nap.
Anyway, for real. But anyways, I forgot where I was at because you guys threw me off. It's all your fault.
Oh, it's our fault.
I like
All
blaming
right.
Jazz for everything.
Yeah,
the weather.
It's really fun for me.
It's like, dude, come on, man. You changed the weather
And
on
see
me,
what
man.
that is? That's poor customer service.
If I was a customer.
But Jasmine is great at customer service. See, Joe blames her for stuff all the time. You know what she does? She takes it.
She's the best.
Very
She's the best
true.
at customer service.
She's the
It's
best.
impressive.
I have a very high tolerance for little shits.
Yeah, see, okay, so here's the thing. So, I think when you're growing up, it's vital that when you're a teenager, you go work fast food or you go work retail or something like that, because we live in this day and age where
I
a
wish
lot of people,
everyone had experience like that.
to do that, because there's people who wind up at college because mommy and daddy have money, they never had to work. and then
mommy and daddy.
they want to start a hustle, something like what we're doing, or they think they're so good they don't need a boss ever in their life. And so they go out and they try to do their own business or something like that because they have this fancy degree.
Or like they worked for dad and mom at the family business for so long, and they just get away with things because of it.
They have no real customer service skills. They think whatever they think is right. They've never had to sit there and have when someone yell at them that
why is flying?
That they didn't have they had the wrong mustard on their burger or something like that. Like they don't know how to deal with that without like crying or getting angry. Or
that being said, as much as like learning, that going through that experience and learning how to give customer service yourself, I think going through something like that gives you a way of how to treat people that are working in customer service, because that's something some people don't have. I mean, I have some family that I just straight up do not want to go eat in public with, like sit down at a restaurant and eat with them, because they will bitch about everything. Like, my steak isn't cooked the right way, take it back and make me a new one. Or like, oh my gosh, my water cup is empty, I can't believe you're doing, actually tell the waiter, that they're doing a shitty job.
And that's not even them who necessarily.
And I'm like, okay, yeah, it's like the kitchen's different, and if you just worked in customer service once in your life, you would understand that it's kind of hard sometimes. Like, it is difficult, and we need to treat each other with respect in that regard. And then coming from a customer service standpoint, you're always going to get better service if you treat them well.
You said it correctly right there. It's respect. You have to have respect for the people around you. You have to have respect for your hustle.
And your coworkers.
What's that old song? It's like, R-E-S.
PCT, find out what it means to me.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's vital in absolutely everything you do, but especially in a hustle. Because with a hustle, sometimes, like the side hustle, you only have some customers, right? So if you mess up
zero to start.
Yeah, you have zero. So what if you get 5 customers a month and then you do something bad with one of them? That's already 1 out of 5 people who don't like what you've done.
Yeah.
That's
a fifth of my business right there that, I just screwed because I couldn't be kind.
You couldn't be kind because they told you something and you were snarky back, or you didn't do it how they wanted. Or you just did something shady. But that's how important customer service really is.
I agree entirely. It's incredibly important, and it's something that goes, even without a hustle, it goes untouched a lot of the times, because people think it's okay to either treat people that are in the customer service not well, or they think it's they can treat their customers not with utmost respect.
I'm terrible at customer service. I get mad. This is what I get mad at. I call Sprint, and I'm trying to talk to customer service, and they give me somebody. They give me somebody from that's working in probably India or Philippines or something. And I'm like, I can't even understand what they're saying, right? And I'm not trying to knock them, but I'm mad at Sprint, and they're saying, why can't you give me somebody that could answer my questions and communicate well?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
The other one is, if I go to McDonald's and you mess up my order, I'm killing you. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I deal with, but I'm trying to do better at it. Mm-hmm. Because when it comes to the one thing that I've learned being here in Lebanon, am I saying it right? Lebanon? Yes. Okay. In Lebanon, I've never lived in a small town. So we met some people in Corvallis, and then I meet somebody new in Lebanon, and they heard about me in Corvallis. And I'm like, okay, that scared me. That really scared me. Whoa, I have to watch what I say, watch what I do, even how I drive.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm a
I've
driver.
thought about that before. I've thought about my drive and okay, so there's this this is funny. There's a stoplight that you have to pass through to get to my house or get out of my neighborhood. And it doesn't have a left turn yield to oncoming traffic sign. That good old rule right there. That rule. So I'll be trying to go straight through that light, and people will turn all the time, in front of me, and I have never laid on my horn ever, except for that spot. And I do it probably twice at least a week. I lay on my horn, but then I think shoot, what if I'm on my way to a meeting, right? A sales meeting with someone. What if I straight up just honked my horn and like laid on it about like with a customer that might be a future customer.
I don't know if I've told this story on this podcast. I don't think so, but I did something like that. So sometimes it's my side hustle. I'll do like modeling jobs, and I was applying for this big job up in Portland, but I got there early because I want to walk around downtown Portland, and I see this hot guy. I mean, man bun, blonde,
ooh, man
chiseled,
bun,
like just
love
urban,
it,
sexy, and I like catcalled him.
Oh no!
And I was like, hey baby, and stuff like that. As he's like going
Rowan.
into this shop and
bad.
stuff like that.
Oh my
I
god!
don't even do that.
And then an hour later, I go to the audition place, and I walk up there, and he's the director. He's the one.
You're joking!
No, I am not joking.
Oh my god,
I walked in there,
that
I
is so funny.
That's
so
hilarious.
embarrassed. He quickly
Oh, that's
I did
good.
not get the job. I
Well
was,
done.
like, the first one to leave.
Well, that you shouldn't call people.
I know, but
Well,
ma'am.
if
I was
you're-
feeling crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, we get crazy sometimes, but listen, for real, is that, why are you saying sorry? I mean, this is a real life show.
Sorry.
So we got our phones going off.
Sorry.
We got technical difficulties. It's
Also,
okay.
I just got a KitchenAid, so that's really cool.
Ooh, that's cool.
A what?
A KitchenAid.
What the heck is that?
That's what that text was. You don't know what a KitchenAid is?
Someone, it's a
Oh,
brand.
if there's any ladies out there listening to me, shoot Joe a direct message and explain to him what a KitchenAid is. Thank
Okay.
you.
Anyways, let's go back to customer service. I know now that I'm glad I'm here, right?
We're all glad that you're here.
This is the reason why now I have to change the way that I do things. I have to think.
It's
because
small
I'm a-
town. Yeah, okay, I see
I
what
have
you
to
mean.
be, but it's really small country. It's Oregon's small in areas because
Yeah.
I went and met somebody in Eugene that knew me here, and I'm like, hey,
No,
hold
for
up.
sure, for sure.
You know, so it's not
That's
that,
the thing about Oregon, and I've experienced that my whole life. Like, I mean, town to town. I lived in McMinnville, but I had friends in Newburgh or Beaverton, and like just throughout high school because it is small.
It is.
It just people are connected, and
They are.
And you
It's-
end up knowing someone somehow knows you everywhere you go.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Well, you got to understand.
first, second degree, connections and that kind of jazz.
Check
Yeah,
out my car is like I call it brandy wine or something, right? There's only 2 in the town.
it's red.
It's not red.
It's kind of
But anyways.
maroonish.
The whole point of it is, if you see my car, there's only 2 in the town.
I know,
So
and
if
I
I'm
always see the other
speeding or
ones
doing
either.
something,
And you have that logo on the back
do
still.
you see what I'm
which you
saying? I
need
gotta
to
take that logo off.
Yeah,
That
you
was
gotta take
on
that
my
logo
thing.
off.
But anyways, so you're supposed to stop when the school bus stops and the lights come out.
Yeah.
It
Stop.
says on the sign,
Stop.
stop when lights are out. But if you're not lights out and you're slowing down, I'm not stopping, right? I get halfway through the bus, the lights come on, the guy yells at me, thinking that I was, passing when the lights were going on. A week later, I get a letter from the police department telling me what the law is and that I should wash myself. Mm-hmm. How does that happen? Do you think in Vegas anybody's going to report that I went down? You feel what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But the lights weren't out. I'm halfway through the intersection.
Sure.
And then the lights come out.
Right. Yeah.
Right? I know what
But the point
rule
is,
I'm
that
supposed to make sense and wait for him to stop if I see him
You gotta
stopping.
understand how good of customer service that is. By
from the police department.
Oh
That's
my
what I was
gosh.
thinking too.
Phenomenal.
Good job,
Yes.
Lebanon Police
You
Department.
guys rock.
You freaking go get our
do
boss,
keep us
man.
safe.
You go get him.
I'm just
he
saying.
Is reckless. I've been in the car with him.
Yeah, we do drive separately.
Why are you making fun? I mean, I'm a great driver.
No, you're not.
Excuse me. Okay, well, I guess let's base it on accidents and tickets. Okay? I'm like 3 times your age, and I'm telling you, I had maybe 3 tickets in my life.
No, I've more
No
than that.
accidents. Not one.
Yeah.
All right,
but
you beat me.
But you
You
also,
beat me.
had some close calls.
Hey, close calls are close calls, but it didn't happen.
I've
So-
totaled one vehicle
See?
and gotten 6 tickets since
See?
I turned 16.
See?
I am 0 for 0.
That's good.
Nice.
good.
Nice.
Now let's keep it that way. Let's go back to customer service.
Okay.
We get sidetracked sometimes. Sorry, guys. I hope you find it interesting. But back to customer service. So we're kind of talking about how important it is to keep your customers satisfied. But it goes on past that when they're done being your customer, when they're just kind of a networking. You're no longer working for them. You're no longer providing a service for them. But as Joe kind of mentioned earlier, it often leads to referrals. So if you watch someone's dog for someone or house sit for like a month while they're on vacation and you do an awesome job, they're happy with you maybe like 6 months down the line. one of their friends is leaving again. And so they refer you.
Yeah.
And the only reason they're going to refer you is because you were good at your job and you were kind. And you weren't like, oh, they didn't pay me enough, or oh, their house smells like cat hair, or something like that.
But all of that, our business is based on people. People
are
buying our services. Yeah. And so you don't know who's going to buy. You don't know who's going to refer. You don't know anything. So every person you take that you get to talk to, treat them like they're everything.
Well, we in this office, we like to talk a lot about how, we're not trying to get customers, we're trying to build relationships. And that's how everyone should look at customer service, is just let the customer service name of that go and just focus on the relationship with the person, and the customer service will become easier. Because if you're focusing on how to serve people with what they want, you're focusing on how to make their life easier or whatever it might be, better, if you're really focusing on those things, it'll become easy to give good customer service. And then, like Rowan was saying, you can get referrals, and if people like to work with you, oftentimes they'll even pay a little bit more to work with you if you're a great person to work with.
Yeah, I got a client right now that he stays with the people that does his cushions for his trailers. Mm-hmm. He's never went out for bid.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you're talking
I
6-7 years, right?
Mm-hmm. Despite whether or not he could find them cheaper.
Cheaper or not, it's their service.
And he loves the service.
It's a relationship. He loves the service. And so the service outweighs the price.
Right, because I think when we were talking to him, he was mentioning if I have a rush job, they'll get them to me the next day. And, you just can't beat that kind of thing.
You can't pay for that. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's
exactly.
That's our goal for every client we sign at Blockspace, is that just like yesterday, we had a sales call yesterday, right, with our partner Juan. Was it yesterday? The day before? Yeah. Yesterday?
Was it yesterday?
No, it was 2 days ago.
Okay, 2 days ago. He said one of the things is he's been planting seeds in this one guy that he didn't see a job from for 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But he still had that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so as long as you're having those relationships and people all around you know exactly what you do, 9 out of 10 are going to roll with you. And what you stand for, how you service them.
Yeah.
And you make them, like me, I'm always saying family to everybody. And I want them to understand they are family. We want to help you, right? I know some families are jacked up. Some families are dysfunctional. We're all dysfunctional in some areas. But our goal in our heart is to serve our clients the best we can.
Yeah.
And be the best that they've experienced.
And that's how you're going to make your hustle work.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's true. So I think those relationships are what build it. And it doesn't matter if you have a small network or a big network. It's about how quality of it. Think of it like if you're this fake career people call an Instagram influencer.
It's not fake. That is real.
Yeah,
that's a real hustle, y'all.
It's hilarious.
It's like one of the biggest industries ever now. So we can't call it fake.
Yeah, but it's not. It doesn't require talent. Anyways.
It does. I disagree.
All right. Anyways, if you have 4,000 followers who actually read your page-and-a-half long post about everything you just said on how to do this yoga pose, you're going to have amazing engagement for whatever you say on that page, because those 4,000 people actually care what you're saying. But if you're a girl out there posting pictures of your ass, okay, and you got all these half
get your booty
pictures,
off Instagram,
and you have 250,000 followers who like your pictures, if you actually put any words down there about a product, all your followers are guys. No one cares what you're saying. You're not.
That perspective, I see what you're saying, but the ones that are making the 1-minute videos about a product are the ones that are bringing value to the end user, for the client.
But they have to have that engagement first, and that's the customer service part. Is you actually have to have valuable connections.
You have to know your customers and really be trying to talk to your customers,
not just a broad audience.
Yeah, in your example there, the booty shaking Instagram hoe. I don't know what else to call her. The Instagram hoe.
Yeah.
She can have an amazing opportunity there. She has so many followers, but what she needs to focus on is advertising products that her customers, which are men, I mean, we can all agree, y'all men love to look at Instagram booty. Anyway, if she has products that are made for men, then she's actually going to get some good engagement about that,
If they read.
If they read, of course, they probably won't. But if they do, I mean, if she's like advertising a skincare makeup product, no way.
I'm not following Instagram hoes.
Yeah, I'm not either. Absolutely not. It annoys me. But anyway.
It does.
You guys are crazy.
But like, my boyfriend probably follows one, and he doesn't care about skin products. But if she was advertising like a hammer or like a power drill, I don't know what, dude.
Drill?
I don't know.
She's naked holding a power drill over
I mean,
her boobs.
the guys would love that. They would be like, "Oh, look at that drill
Right,
and
guys,
those boobs."
Watch out for me in a month. I am going on Instagram host selling power tools. That's my new niche market.
Honestly, I think it could
I
work.
need a photographer. Anybody
Or like,
out there?
you could sell like a cheeseburger.
Over your boobs.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's get back to customer service.
No, that is customer service.
Take care of your customers.
Oh, God.
But seriously, one important thing is knowing who your customers are and actually trying to serve them. It doesn't really matter what you're trying to sell if you don't have the right customer in front of you. And if you're not focusing on them.
Know your customer is super important for every niche.
Oh, yeah, for
you
sure.
know, and you got to know who you're going afterwards.
You got to define your market.
Yeah,
you
got
gotta.
to.
You gotta.
But people are saying, how do I do that? Well, there's so much information online. Just
Oh my
Google
gosh,
it.
yeah.
Look it up.
So
Read
much.
some people. Listen to our blog. Listen to other people's blogs.
In that
podcast,
if we're talking about Instagram, which I think a lot of hustles these days could start on Instagram.
100%.
For sure.
T-shirt companies,
Oh,
clothing
yeah,
companies,
definitely.
anything that has to
And
do
it's
with
so easy.
images.
Just give your feed a scroll and check it out. What are the demographics? Are mostly women? Are they mostly men? Are they older? Are they younger? And then you can go from there, like focus on what you've sold. If you've sold 5 products, just jot down a little bit that about those 5 products and who bought them. Mm-hmm. And you have that much more information about what your customer looks like, who you should be trying to target, and how you can better serve them.
Yeah, and how you can talk to them, how you can email in your newsletters, because if, you're selling power tools, you're not going to be like, OMG, guys, this is so epic.
This is the cutest drill I've ever seen.
I think Cardi B just held it in her, newest music video or something where that. That's not going to work for a 50-year-old man.
Yeah.
And that is kind of target marketing, but it's also customer service, because a customer's time is just as valuable as yours.
Yeah, you don't want to waste it.
We're all people, and we all value our time differently. I feel
Great
like
point.
I value my time and my knowledge at least $50 an hour. I give it away to almost everyone because I know how to do things.
Yeah.
So when people are trying to cold call me, and they're trying to talk to me like, hey man, I could be working right now. I could be selling a book. I could be at the gym. I don't want to spend more than 5 minutes talking to anyone about anything ever. Sorry. Not even my own boyfriend.
Great customer service.
Yeah.
And that's how you do it.
You want to make sure your customer service is simple and quick when it comes to phone calls, when it comes to referrals. If you want them to take a survey, 3 sentences. Don't go on why you need the survey.
Don't waste my time.
Make it simple.
Bring me value with what you're saying, and I will talk to you. I'm always willing. But if you're not bringing me value, and I can't straight up see it while you're talking to me, then thumbs down on you.
Huge thumbs
Go
down.
away.
Yeah.
You're annoying me.
You're annoying. And on that same note, it's also super important to listen. This is the biggest thing, especially when you're a hustler. Obviously, you have some self-confidence. You have some drive. Mm-hmm. And that means you're probably a talker. You're probably a thinker. You're a doer, which means our opinion. I know I have the world's biggest opinions on everything, and I will stick to them just so much. I don't care. Okay, I'm very opinionated, and I get that, but I have had to learn to listen to people more often. I'm not empathetic. I've had to learn how to be empathetic.
Oh yeah, you have to walk the tightrope between trying to say everything you want to say, bring all the value that you can bring, and tell them about yourself and your product. And that also the line of listening to them with what they actually need, what they're getting from you, feedback.
Especially with sales. Listen to what they want. If you're trying to sell them on this wildly cool matching set of a dog bed, dog bowl, dog dish, and dog washing service for $400, and all they came in was for a leash,
Yeah.
You're overdoing it. You didn't listen to them. When they come in the door and they're like, I want a leash.
That's pushy.
Maybe be like, here's 2. Do you want 2 leashes? Do you want a new harness to go with the leash? Don't be like, hey, do you want me to wash your dog and sell you a dog bed? Like, come on. I'm never going to come back to that guy.
Do you want a new dog? Do you need
exactly.
2 dogs? Do you want this? Do you
I
want
don't
that?
want to come back to the person who doesn't listen to me.
Yeah, for sure,
that's one aspect of it. But on the sales part, people that are good salespeople know how to wear you down to get you to say yes. And that's the balance. We don't want to do that. That's not who we are. But those tactics are out there where they'll call every other day. They'll if you say call me next Tuesday, they're calling you next Tuesday. When they call you, you're still not interested, whatever. They're still trying to push their wares. That's where the relationships we should come up with some kind of name for it. Relationship sales, right? Because we're building relationships that will turn into sales. Mm-hmm. But we're not trying to hard sell them like, dude, your site sucks and you're just going to go out of business in 1 year if you don't jump on my board.
Right. Well, I think if you can look at what you're doing and you can say you're trying to wear someone down, then you're doing it wrong. Yeah. Because if I get a phone call from someone and they're like, blah, 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 and I'm like, please take me off your callers list. Like, and they're like, okay, you can press 1 to do that, but blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh my gosh, stop talking. You're like, like that doesn't work.
But what does work is repetition, right? You see McDonald's all the time. You see Coke all the time. These commercials play for a reason. The more they can program your brain, the more you're going to get to act on them.
Sure. But if they're associating a negative with that repetition, then it's not going to work.
It's not good.
Because I
don't think any of it's good. But what I'm saying is that is a tactic.
Oh, for sure.
And if I can call you, I'm going to get you to a place where you're just going to say yes just to get me away.
So
right?
We could maybe do a obviously clearly very disagreeing podcast in the future on how to make sales, because I think there are definitely different types of buyers. Because that's Jasmine
great.
And I know I don't have money. I'm not spending money. You're wasting my time.
Yeah.
And then there's other people who are, I hate to say this, but soft, and they can be worn down. Like when Girl Scout cookies. When you're walking past Girl Scout cookies and you keep walking past this girl who's been at the same Fred Meyer's for 3 days, you're gonna cave. And I think that's what Jill's talking about sales wise. But see, either I buy the Girl Scout cookies because I actually went to Fred Meyer's because I know that it's that time of year, or I'm just not getting any. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not a persuadable person, but a lot of people are. I was raised to be a hard ass. I don't know.
Right. Well, and that's where knowing your customer and listening come into play, because you can tell. I mean, I can tell as soon as I pick up the phone and call someone, I can tell what kind of customer I'm talking to. Vaguely, I can tell whether or not they are interested in talking to me, if they're interested in talking to me at a later time, or if they straight up hate me because I'm wasting their time by calling them at all.
Today I got maybe 5 calls I'm going to make. I got probably 15 or 20 I'm going to make, but I'm going to start with 5 today. And I'm going to try different approaches to each one to see which one works.
Yeah, and you can kind of narrow that down even before just I'm going to do this without calling. Ask 1 or 2 questions and you can tell which tactic's going to work best for them. And that's a good thing to do with your hustle and your customer service. Have a couple different options for a couple different types of customers. And then once you can figure that out by a little bit of your conversation and by listening to your customer, then you can really figure out which tactic to use better.
Yeah,
and it'll better serve you.
That could be about anything. It could be about what your hustle actually is, how you're making sales. And it also applies to how you communicate. Some people prefer texting and emailing. Some people prefer in person. Some people prefer phone calls.
Yeah.
You need to be prepared to handle every type of customer appropriately. And you need to listen quickly. Because if you don't listen and learn, you're not going to go anywhere, because you're not, what's the word, agile. You can't change. You can't adapt to the environment.
Great point. I think that's a great point, because it is adapting to your customer. That's exactly what you need to do. That's good customer service, is listening, seeing what they want. I mean, you kind of have to have a little bit of personal skills to do that. But I think we all should just try to listen more in life anyway. Yeah,
be quiet and listen more. I mean, I learn more about people and different people just by listening. It's like when I meet new people, I watch them. What their movements are, how they talk, what are they talking about, and so that way, I don't even know how to go there, but I just know that for us, It's a relationship. And you know, the other thing that's important for us as hustlers is consistency. You know, having a longevity, consistency, a plan that you stick to for longer than a day, a plan that you stick to for longer than 6 months. You know, as an entrepreneur, you know, my life is up and down, right? It's a roller coaster, right? As an entrepreneur. And that's why a lot of people can't be entrepreneurs, because they don't have the fortitude to sit there and say, rain or shine, I'm going to make this happen.
Yeah.
Right? And so for me, I sit there and I look at that. I'm like, no, I'm a vision person. I live by hope. That's how I make my moves. Yes, I still have disappointing days. Yes, I have people not happy with me all the time. You can't make everybody happy.
Great.
That's one aspect in customer
Super
service.
true.
Is there going to be people you can't do anything for, but how you end the relationship with them is as important as how you started it.
Yeah. Well, on that note, one question I guess I have for you guys is, what do you think about the balance of customer service when working with difficult people as a hustler? Because often it's your side hustle we're talking about, right? So how do you give yourself room to not work with people because you want to like your job and you don't want to work.
You want to like the job that they're asking you to do.
Yeah, exactly. And your side hustle is there because it's something you like to do with your extra time.
Well,
but how do you like determine whether or not you need to be trying harder with your customer service, or if this customer or this person is just not worth your time to work for because it's bringing you and your hustle down?
By repetition. Doing it over and over again, and you'll start to see patterns in how you speak with people and how they speak to you. Then that's the energy you're putting out, right? So after 5 customers, if I got the same response, right, then I know it's me.
Yeah.
You feel me? But if they're all different, then it could be them, right?
Yeah.
And also, just like how Juan said the other day, we have cold leads, warm leads, hot leads. You know what I'm saying? So we go out and make cold calls, and then hopefully we're warming up with a secondary call.
Yeah.
And the ultimate goal, though, is to let them know that, hey, we want to bring value to your company. We want to bring value to your life. And as a hustler, you got to sit there and say, what am I passionate about? Because if you're not doing something that's your passion, right, we still have to pay bills. So you're not going to be able to live by your passion every day. But if you could find something that you could deal with and kind of serve well, then that gives you more to, focus on your passion to have to actually go after it. Because the goal of a hustle is for you to get out of your 9 to 5. My goal of a hustle is for freedom. The more money I get, the more jobs I get, the more freedom I have, right? Because for me, it can't be about the money every day.
Right.
It just can't be. Because I'm learning that at this age.
But
I'm never going to tell you my age, but as a mature adult in the room, I am tired of chasing the dollar.
Yeah.
Because it is chasing.
But you're chasing like stability.
Stability is a real thing, and
free stability.
There you go. Because to me, like, you ask everybody that you deal with, what is their number one mantra, goal, whatever? Mine's freedom. At the top of the list is freedom.
We talked about financial freedom in another one of our podcasts.
The last one we talked about how you're automatically going to fail if that thing at the top of your list is money.
But that being said, if your goal, instead of like, I want to make $20,000 a month, instead of that being your goal, if you want to be able to pay everything and be able to pay 2 months of rent in 1 month, like, that could be a goal.
Yeah, no, you could set goals, financial goals. It's important to do that because you need to visualize where you want to go, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't have financial goals, then you're not going to know where you're going.
Right.
Right? So we all have to have financial goals, but the purpose in your heart, chasing the dollar, is what's wrong.
Right.
That's what corrupts. That's what makes you not be in integrity. That
And it's
what makes
make
you
your
to have
customer
sucky
service go downhill.
That's where I was going. The customer service will suck because they'll see through it. Like,
Yeah.
you gave them a great face the first day. The second day, you let some of your bones come out your closet. The next day, a lot more bones came out your closet. Next thing you know, you're not keeping your word. You're not staying on your timeline. And it just goes downhill. And then you're sucking.
Or you're not listening because you're on your timeline just for the money so you can get all the jobs done you need to this month.
So you're trying to push. Yeah, totally.
And the essence of working hard, because I've always had a problem with working hard, okay? Because in my interpretation of working hard is physical labor, right? Going out there, like my son, he details cars. So he goes out there physically, and that feeds him. What feeds me is knowledge, wisdom, right? So I don't have that outward working hard, but I have the inward working hard, right? Because you're working hard to sitting there saying, well, I spent 100 hours on this website, right? That could be considered working hard, but me doing it wasn't working hard.
Yeah.
Do you see the difference? It's like...
Well, it's work harder, not smarter.
Yeah.
Or work smarter, not harder. Yeah.
So if you can figure out something like somebody comes to me and says, I need this app made, I'm going to go out into the public, into the industry and say, is there any of these apps already out there, right?
Working
that I could buy? Then all I got to do is customize it to what the client needs. But why should I do something from scratch? I feel that if I can give you a better product than what you're asking for, that's even better customer service. That's more relationship.
Yeah. We talked about on our sales call 2 days ago. Did we agree it was 2 days ago?
What day is it? Today's Friday, right? Our podcast Friday day. What?
Anyway, so on our sales call, another thing that we talked about, which I guess is like where my question came from, is we talked about selectivity. And we talked about the fact that we want to tell customers... And,
our story's changing.
Right.
Yeah.
But like we pick and choose like,
who we want
to work with. And for one, that's a great sales tactic, which I could get into that, but another podcast, another day.
Yeah, we'll do one. But you already, the cool thing about you is that you already had the essence of it before he said it.
Right, yeah.
You already was like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wrote a paper about selectivity marketing.
There
and
you go.
It's quite interesting because it makes people feel really special when you let them in because it's a special group. But
well, I think of the iPhone that way.
Yeah, that's exactly true. It makes you feel like you're a part of a special group, and that's like a whole marketing.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Oh,
but,
shut up.
You know.
Anyway, but also with selectivity, what I wanted to talk about that with customer service and with your hustle is you can actually be selective, especially in a hustle when you're just doing what you like and you love. And if working with someone is bringing you down because they suck, you know, like they're not respectful of your customer service, they tell you, like ask you to take the food back every time. I don't know what, you know what I mean? Yeah. Then it's just going to bring you down and it's not actually going to benefit your hustle at all.
No.
So you can be selective with who you want to work with.
It's like the sign behind the bar or, restaurant. It's we reserve the right to refuse service. And that should probably always be the slogan to your hustle. Unless you're solely just scrounging for cash. But if
you shouldn't be, though.
But you shouldn't be. That's the whole point. Is if you have someone it's like having that toxic friend or something.
100%.
Such a good analogy.
Sometimes you have to be older to realize this. If you're younger...
you're an old soul. That's why it's different. Both of you guys got some old souls going on. So you guys, I'm like shocked and proud of you guys because the conversations that come out your mouths are wisdom, and it's awesome to see that because all millennials get banged on, right?
I know.
They try to tear them down.
Some of us are cool.
I got some smart ones with me, guys. I'm telling you, these guys are smart, and that's what you want to do. You want to surround yourself with smart people.
We should do a whole podcast about millennials.
Yeah, we will. We need to because, there's so many things that are going on in business that people, like business owners, there's probably things in their business that they hate to do.
Oh, right? Absolutely.
And if you can convert that into a service that we can provide, then we just became that much more valuable.
And it's listening to your customer.
Listening to your customer finds out their bottleneck issues. Why are they not on Facebook? Why are they not on Instagram? Why are they not on YouTube? Why are they not making videos? Right now, most everybody's phone has a decent camera to make videos. Why aren't you getting, when you have a client, why don't you get a testimonial right there? Put your phone up, say, hey, give me a shout out. Boom, it's done. Because the more people that are talking about you and the more people hear about people talking about you, then the more successful you'll be.
Yeah. And your customer service builds relationships like we've discussed, and that's where that's going to take off, And people like to work with people that are people like to work with. Did that make sense? People like to work with people like to work with people that people like to work with. Yep, hey, I'm sticking to it.
And like right now, because we're new to the city, everything I'm doing is based on relationships. I'm doing a lot of free work. I'm giving a lot of free advice, blessing them because I want a good name in this town. Mm-hmm. And I want everybody to know what we do and why we do it and that we're good at it.
Right. Yeah. So what I mean by people like to work with people that people like to work with.
You're going to get a shirt that says
I know.
that.
I want to get a shirt that says that. I love it. I just coined it. Anyway. what I mean by that is it's the same thing as like making your ex-boyfriend jealous, right? You, which I've never done, I'm proud to say, but anyway, so the idea behind that is like by being wanted and like by someone else seeing you being wanted, it makes them want you more. And this is a great tactic to use in customer service. Like, use your customer service as a marketing tool, because you're so very obviously fun and lovely to work with that everyone else should want to work with you. Exactly. That's your best asset. Like we started, it's your number one asset is you. If you can sell you and you can show that people love you, then no matter what you're selling, it's going to sell.
No, you're saying exactly right. That was the whole point of this podcast, is talk about your greatest asset is yourself.
Yep.
And what you said with the whole boyfriend thing is a perfect example. Like, just even in the small, like, say I want like a new t-shirt, and we're kind of at the store and my boyfriend's like, no, and then I go over to the cute, like clothing guy, and I'm like, hey, how much does this cost? Is there any discounts? And like start flirting with him. Oh, I'm getting that t-shirt like right then, because that guy's interested. And you can do the same type of thing with your customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can show them how good you are. How good you are at customer service.
Like Joe was talking about, those testimonials can be such a good asset.
Big
because
time.
It shows.
And it shows that you're not just, like, I hate to say this, talking out your ass.
No, but
exactly.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
No, it's completely
like,
true.
That's where the hustle gets the bad name. Because they think I'm hustling you for something.
Right.
And we're talking about the hustle in us to have something, to create something, to be something bigger than what we are today. That's why we hustle.
Yeah.
But we're not hustlers. We're not hustling people to say, yo, dog, I could do this for you, pimping. What's up? You know what I'm saying? But we can, that's the reality. I can sit there and hustle on chicks. I can sit there and hustle on people without them knowing, because you know how to play those mind games.
Yeah.
But that's not the tactics here. The tactics is relationship, number one. Yeah. Because if I don't have relationships, I have nothing. Well, I'm more valuable with the relationships I have.
Oh, absolutely. We're more valuable to bring those other relationships. We work in marketing, so the more relationships we have, the more relationships we will get, and the more beneficial those relationships will be. But yeah, the whole name of the game is selling yourself.
Selling yourself, creating those relationships, and like we talked about, it's those relationships that maybe go on, like Juan was saying, for years, and then they come back to you, or maybe years down the line they refer someone to you. And another good thing is you need to learn when you make these mistakes. We talked about when you choose to not work with someone, or you did work with them, but something didn't go right, or maybe it did go perfectly right. I think always reaching back out, like a month later after you did what you did, like I said with house sitting. Maybe just reach out.
Are you satisfied with your service?
And if you're more professional, maybe you did something online, something a little less, house sitting like, you can send out a survey and be like, how did I do? What can I do different? And sometimes people are more comfortable answering it via text instead of telling you in person. Yeah. And you can even make it anonymous. So you could do it like maybe once every, quarter, or once every half a year. You just send it out to all the clients you've had since that time period began. Yeah. And make it anonymous. So you just know what you're doing right and what you can fix.
And this idea is something you see all the time. Absolutely everyone who's listening, I'm sure, has, if not filled out one of those surveys,
the McDonald's,
yeah. But if you haven't filled one out, you still have seen that as an opportunity, and that is what big, good, successful companies do, and that's what successful people do. Is they ask for feedback on what was successful that I did. What could I have done better, or what did you hate?
And listening. That's what we were talking about.
And learning from it and adjusting. Like, once you get feedback, adjust. Like, if you did something and people loved it and it's like a new thing that you haven't done before, put that on paper as an implemented plan, because it works.
Yeah.
Well, in radio, you're not supposed to have dead air, so keep talking, yo. Hey, because I went on radio this morning with K-Gal out here in Lebanon, and I got interviewed, talk about BlockSpace and what we do and how we do it, and where do I come from, and what do I provide, and why clients should use us. The biggest thing for me is I go back to relationships. I know you guys hear this. I'm trying to bang it in you, because it's important to treasure every relationship you get. Even if they're not good for you and all that, leave them alone. But don't make it a bad, like, burn a bridge.
Oh, yeah, never burn
You know,
bridges.
you see what I'm saying? And especially in this town, I mean, literally.
It's not this town, it's Oregon. There's
Yeah,
less people live in Oregon than New York City.
In Vegas, you know.
Small.
Yeah, very, very small.
Listen, I come from Vegas, and you get the bird all the time driving. You know, people are just rude. People are just too busy, rude, going.
And
Here,
no one
everybody's
cares.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody cares.
I know,
And that's
on my
the point.
laptop I have a sticker that says, "Be nice, you're in Oregon now."
Yeah, it's
because
true.
we are nice people
They're
here.
very
I
nice
wave
people.
at everyone, like,
Yeah.
if I'm on a smaller road, like, not the highway, I always wave.
But that's
for
exactly what I mean about, like, my story earlier about the car, like, where I think, okay, it really pisses me off when people don't let me go straight and they turn, because I'm like, bro, you ever heard about yielding to oncoming traffic? I mean, seriously, guys. But I will, like, have in the past, like, laid on my horn, like, flipped them off, yelled at my window, "You stupid." Like, it makes me very mad. I'm a very not angry person, and this...
I get it. There's those things that everybody has, those pressure points that gets them to that
But
place.
because in Oregon, that's something that's, you know, in California, I feel like I've definitely had people do that to me before. I'm just like, oh my God, like, that's crazy. Like, you're insane.
Oh my God.
But here in Oregon, it's like, for someone to do that, like, for someone to do that to me, I would be like, wow, what? But I need to focus on the fact that, like, I might be trying to sell myself to this person later, or they might be my
You
professor,
might be
or
a speaker. You might be a speaker somewhere.
Yeah.
Incredible speaker. And then next thing you know, somebody knows the person that hired you to bring you to the speaker and says, she's full of...
yeah, like, I'm talking
Yeah.
about how I'm, you know, never angry,
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
or
never angry, never
like, I
pissed
don't, you know,
off.
and then this guy's like,
Like, yeah.
well, you actually, like, you have to really focus on that, especially when you're an entrepreneur or a hustler, you know, like we are, because if you don't always act that way, like, you're selling yourself, and what that means is, like, you're selling your life, you're selling your attitude, you're selling
Your bad
every
breath,
action.
the way you dress,
I mean,
your bad breath,
yeah.
all of it. And that's why I try to tell you guys, and even from the beginning, we're always selling.
Yeah.
You are always selling yourself, regardless, to your man, to your girlfriend, to to the people around you. If you want to get favor on your life and you want people to sow into you, you got to be that way to them.
No, it's exactly what you're saying. And this is especially applicable if you live in any community that's not like New York City or Vegas. Even our cities here on the West Coast, like Portland, Seattle, they're still small enough where you can see the same person twice in one day if you're driving around. But if you're doing everything online, this isn't as applicable to you, but you still need to make sure your online presence is always spot clean, because when I get contacted by someone for a service that we are actually potentially interested in, and they have their name tag at the end of their email, the first thing I'm going to go do is I'm going to go make sure this person exists. I'm going to go on their Facebook page, and if there's a picture of you chugging a keg from last night and you're trying to sell me on something like today, like
you're trying to sell me like a juice cleanse.
yeah, exactly.
I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Perfect example. So you need to make sure your presence is consistent. If you are selling booze and you are on your Instagram drinking booze, that's fine. But if you're selling like picture perfect, pretty Barbie, just doesn't do anything bad, you can't just break that.
Yeah.
And you can't break it in person if your services are in the community, and you can't break it online. And so it's the same thing. It's the service. You are your best asset, and if you tarnish you, you're like doomed, for lack of a better word. But
yeah, if you can look at your whole life and make your life work for you, you know what I mean? Like, that's what a hustle is. That's what a side hustle is. That's the name of the game. I'm just trying to get the fact that I exist to make me money, honestly.
that is basically the name of the game. You use what you already know how to do typically.
Well, they always
for a
tell the
hustle.
women, use your assets to get what you want.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah.
you know, I you know, I can't even go there, but I just want to leave with this understanding that, you know, hustle equates to freedom, and the road to getting your freedom are these steps that we're trying to apply even to our lives to help you grow, right? So customer service is such an important aspect of who you are, and to have the thought in your brain, I am selling all the time. If you can imprint that in your brain, that's going to help you navigate when you're not feeling good, when that client pissed you off, or that person cut you off.
Yeah.
Right?
Ghosted
so
ya.
if we start, you know, putting in our brain that, hey, I'm always selling, it's important. Just think of this. all the drama that happens to a star, Shia LaBeouf, right? Am I saying his name right? You guys know who he is?
Yeah. I've been talked about him since I was like in middle school.
Okay. But anyways, I'm watching A&E, and an episode of A&E cop show, he gets arrested on the show.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious. But not only what was hilarious, that he was so drunk that he was belligerent to the police, to everybody around him, telling them that if you take these cuffs off, I'll kick your butt. All that stuff is killing his career. But the difference is he's in the public eye. We can hide it. Do you see the difference? Yeah. So if we flick somebody off or we get belligerent somewhere, they may know in some small circles, but it's not national news. Mm-hmm. It's not TMZ, you know. So that's another thing. You know, you just got to watch yourself and understand that, hey, we'll make mistakes. Some days you might get me on a bad day, and I might tell you about yourself.
And be transparent about that kind of thing, you know?
Because we all fall short.
Be yourself. Tell yourself, and you're going to be happier because it's easy to just do what you know and what you are rather than trying to, you know, fake it every day when you go into work. Just be yourself and listen to your customer. Figure out who your customer is and go from there.
Yeah, guys. I mean, do you have any final thoughts to say on customer service?
No. I think that I do not have anything else to say.
The customer is always right until they're wrong.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah.
I mean, especially in our business, a lot of clients, they don't know what they want until they see what they don't want. Mm-hmm. So you got to navigate that very well and don't get butthurt because they didn't like your design. Mm-hmm. You got to you know what? Okay, I'll take your points and I'll go do it again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right? Because I want you happy. My goal is I want you happy. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't like me. Because some people, they just ain't going to like you. Yeah. Some people are like, yeah, I'll use you, but... Yeah.
And one last note on customer service. When you're starting out with a new side hustle, if you're out there and you're just kind of getting going, don't overestimate yourself. And I think the classic version of this is you like photography, so you put your ad up to be a wedding photographer. And you go and you charge them $2,000 for their wedding, and you don't get very good photos.
Yeah, you don't deliver what you're selling.
You don't deliver. You need experience first, because right there, those people are going to be very angry. That was a very special day to them, and you didn't do what you promised. Mm-hmm. And that's already one bad referral, one bad customer out there who's already tarnishing your name when they're literally your only one customer. That's 100% dissatisfaction with your hustle.
Well, that's why even for my son, because he does all our videos and stuff for us, I told him in the beginning when he started, go do it for free. Go out there and get as many photos, videos, just go out there and be you and learn. And now his video shows are awesome. The way he edits them, the way he does the story, he's a good storyteller. But, that's his gifting, right? So if we all work from that place of where our passion is, where our focus is, where our gifting is, we will have good customer service.
Yeah, if you focus on, your customers and you and what you're doing, what you have to give, and what they have to give you. I mean, that's an important thing to realize, right? Your customers are bringing value to you too, through lessons, through,
if you're willing
money,
to listen.
if you're willing to listen. And, that's like the relationship between teachers and students. Like, teachers learn from students, maybe not as much, but a lot of teachers say as much as the students learn from the teachers. Yeah. And that's like a good customer service thing. It's a feedback thing. And that's
don't be scared of feedback, because I am. I've always been scared. Did I disappoint you? I did not do right.
No, feedback is good.
It is.
You have to try to be constructive about it.
It sharpens you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I guess that is our podcast on your greatest asset.
What is this, episode 4?
This is episode 4.
4 in the making. We're going to be by 200 by the end of the year.
Feedback. For any of you out there, we're going to be putting a comment section and survey on our actual website, which is bloxspace.co. If you like our podcast, let us know. If you don't, really let us know.
Yeah, definitely.
We can do better.
Please be kind.
Give us points.
This is our hustle. We're just like you. We're doing the best we can, and we want to know how to do it better. But in the end, like we said, we're selling ourselves, guys. So let us know if you like us. Besides that, I hope you guys have a great week. Happy Monday for you guys out there listening. And that's it, guys. Thank you.
Blessings.
Thanks.
Talk to you all later.
Welcome to the How to Hustle podcast, brought to you by Blockspace, your creative agency. That's BLOXSPACE.co. That's BLOXSPACE.co. Blockspace.